Hi, my name is Alicia, and I'm relatively used to being called a project manager just because of my role as the president of the Barrett Residential Council over the last year. I'm used to managing or working with a lot of people's different schedules, and just because of that, I have grown a lot as a project manager. I put on a lot of successful programs with my team, but I want to focus on one called the Big Barrett Bash. It was supposed to be a couple $1,000 event meant to get the residents out on the grass while also fundraising for an ASU partnership with Valley of the Sun United Way as a fundraiser. Unfortunately, because I hadn't fully grasped the idea of contingency plans that were mentioned in the book, I hadn't prepared for if it were to rain that day or if a pandemic were to strike. So that was just a true sign that I have a lot to grow and a lot to learn within my position as project manager. So I think that this class has a lot to offer me. Within this class, I am excited to be called a project manager again, just because I am quite used to putting on things like capstone projects at the end of the year. This will be very different from my other classes because there won't be any exams, and I'm sure I won't have to go to tutoring, but I think that office hours are going to be equally important in this class as they are in my other classes. Some of my friends say that I have obsessive completion disorder just because I'm always working on things as soon as they become available. So I think managing my time is definitely going to be one of my strengths within this position. But what I particularly want out of this experience is to learn. I want this to be set up in a way that I can ask questions when I'm confused, and I can learn about some of the things like contingency plans that I mentioned earlier that are important to me, as well as quality criteria. I'm relatively used to working with quality criteria just from rubrics, from things like lab reports and things, but I'm excited to learn the new ways of working with that within the project management role. One of the things that I really don't want is to be discouraged because of unexpected things being thrown my way that I'm really just not prepared for. So I hope that I can be able to ask questions when I'm confused and not deal with such a convoluted project that's just been distorted too many times by unexpected events. I am a junior and my major is in genetics with a minor in project management. This is my second online class if you don't call all of the ASU Sync that's happening this year. All my other classes are on ASU Sync this year. Throughout my experience, I've really used this site called Trello to succeed. It's kind of my own personal Gantt chart that was mentioned in the book or in the readings, and it helps me manage my time, what kinds of things I still have to accomplish, and it's really helped me throughout the last couple of years. I have discovered that my timeliness has really helped give me the opportunity to be available for some of my friends who haven't completed their assignments yet and they still have some questions. So I'm really excited about just kind of being available through this class to learn from my colleagues while also being able to possibly offer some advice as myself. Throughout the pandemic, I've been doing a lot of yoga just because that's something that's really helped me. And as far as the 20-hour per week criteria goes, I use Google Calendar to block out every hour of my day. I work in a research lab. I have a paid on-campus job as a Vista peer mentor, and I have a total of 16 credits. So yes, it's going to be challenging to fit everything in, but I have already worked out my schedule, and I'm confident that I'll be able to fit in the 20 hours a week necessary to be able to succeed in this class.